So I am Sally Jones, and I'll be the new mental health therapist for the Peerless Lake School. I am from the Alexis First Nations, but I also have family from Saddle Lake. So I have a dog, so that's very important to me. I love taking him to the dog park, love taking him for walks. I like playing the guitar. So with the guitar, I kind of have been self-learning how to play. So I really just know 3 main strings, but I can play some songs with those strings. So I really enjoy doing that. And slow pitch. I play slow pitch in the summer. So I know that we had a bit of we weren't able to play for a while because of the pandemic, but thankfully we actually started up our season at the beginning of July. So that's been really good. My degree, my child and youth care counseling degree. So I completed that. I did my diploma program about 10 years ago. And I recently, in the last 5 years, went back and got my degree. Yeah, so that was a big accomplishment for me. I think it's just something that's always been a part of who I am. You know, I'm the oldest in my family, and so I have one younger sister, and I've always kind of had the expectation to kind of be there for her, to help guide her, you know, on her path, to help teach her. And so her and I are very close. We're about 3.5 years apart. And I think growing up, just helping, it's just always been something that I've always been used to. And even in my own community, like we just, you know, if there's ever like feasts or funerals or wakes or anything to do with an event, we're always just helping each other. And I just noticed that pretty much every field that I've chosen has been a helping field. So it just brings me a lot of enjoyment. So my biggest failure would have been, and it's interesting because like I used to think it was my biggest failure, but it's something that's really taught me a lot about myself, is that my dad was going through a lot of health issues before he passed away, and he passed away in 2004. And he went through a period in his life where he got into a car accident that we actually didn't even think he would make it. He had to get flown by stars to the hospital, and thankfully he ended up coming out of it. But from that, his kidneys failed. He needed dialysis. And so one of the things I had talked with him about was donating one of my kidneys to him. He wasn't really in support of me doing that, but he was open to seeing the doctors, seeing if I was a potential match. Like, he was open to exploring that with me. His health started deteriorating really quickly, and then the priority became heart surgery. He ended up going through heart surgery, and then he started doing really, really well. And then 3 months after his heart surgery, he just passed away in his sleep. I never really got the opportunity to go through that with him. And so it was something that to me, it was a big failure because I really had my heart set on it, and I really wanted to kind of be the one to help him through his health situation. To me, that was hard to go through, but it's something that I finally have just kind of like healed from and let go of. I like to meditate, like every morning, even just, 5 minutes, 15 minutes in the morning, just to start my day, to kind of just to sit in silence and just be still with myself. I also like to pray. And I would also have to say as well, like, my friends and my family have been a really big support for me, because they kind of also remind you of all the good things you have in your life. My favorite quotes that I always like to keep at the back of my mind is honor the past, live the present, and create the future. The reason why I love that quote so much is because our past experiences, our family, our friends, our ancestors, our culture, like anything to do with our past, really contributes to who we are today. Once I started kind of understanding the experiences, for instance, of my grandparents, that also helped me to heal a lot of my own past stuff. Because up until I didn't really know anything about residential schools till I was in my 20s. And once I started learning about residential schools and the impact it had on my grandparents, for instance, my family members, I was able to understand a lot of why I am who I am. And once I started really understanding what she experienced in residential schools, not from her, but just hearing about other people's experiences, it helped me to see that it wasn't me, it was her. So I was able to let go of a lot of that stuff. I'm just really looking forward to going on this new journey in my life and just seeing where it takes me. Yeah, so thank you.